Hey, so I'm back to share some more parts of my story of my experiences that happened after my husband was killed in November 2023. If you haven't seen the first video, which shows the first part of the carryover of this story, but kind of in the middle of this entire ordeal, go watch it. I'm going to put the link below. Um, So, after that incident on January 3rd, the next day, I went to go file an order of protection. Let me give you a little bit backstory to that because you can't just go and file an order of protection against somebody. Like I said in my previous video, I had been getting threats, being antagonized, being harassed since I gave it probably since December of 2023. So, like about a month after the same month that my husband was buried by people in his family. In December, near the holidays, an incident happened where somebody called somebody else in my family and threatened to choke me and somebody who was related to me out. Now, I had no idea what was going on. I was out with my daughters at a church dinner. And so what happened, I started getting a barrage of text messages like in the family group chat, like, oh, you better leave my auntie the F alone. And I heard you got a problem with my auntie. Like, these are from a bunch of different people. Now, no, this lady, my husband's mother, as far as I know, she doesn't have any sisters. I think she did, but I didn't know her. She wasn't here when I knew my husband, so I don't know. And I was getting a bunch of calls, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I picked up a phone because this was a cousin that I was okay with, I guess. I picked up the phone with her, but she had a whole attitude with me. I'm like, hold on. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what anybody's talking about. I haven't talked to this individual, my husband's mother. I stopped talking to her. I'm pretty sure it's make it mid-December. About because my husband's funeral was on the 9th, and then she came over the week after, and then after that, yeah, I stopped talking to her because she wasn't respecting my boundaries. She wasn't listening to me. I needed to breathe. But anyway, I was talking to this individual. She was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go with what you have to say, because I didn't know what the heck was going on. So when I stopped talking to my husband's mother, I told her that she can contact my mom, my brother, my sister, my dad, if she wanted to say something, because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't keep talking with her. Like, I needed to breathe. This is kind of a side note. I'm a pretty introverted person. I have a small circle of friends, close people. Love my family to death. I'm a family person. I don't really go out, hang out. Me and my husband were kind of completely opposite people, which I don't think that my husband's family understood that. We'll talk about that a little bit more because I'm going to get sidetracked. So when that happened with the, oh, I'm going to choke you out situation, I didn't know what to do. I mean, like, I've been stuck. I'm exhausted. Like, I've been dealing with all the stuff with the aftermath of my husband's death. So my mom, of course, gave me some feedback, some input, and kind of said what I might need to do. So I called the detective on my husband's case. Now, note, the detective has nothing to do with this. He was investigating my husband's murder, of course. But he basically said that if this is happening and you don't feel safe, then go down to the police station and file a police report. And if things like this continue, then you can go file an order of protection. Note, the cops that came to my house in January also advised me to go get an order of protection against these individuals as well, because of what they had been doing. So, of course, I go down the next day after the January 3rd incident. So now we're back to where we are now, I believe. me, my brother, and my sister go down so I can file orders of protection. Again, I didn't know everybody who was at the house. Some people I didn't know. Some people I hadn't realized were there because it was dark outside. You couldn't see their faces, and I wasn't outside. But I absolutely knew who was there. I don't know, just because of information that I received. I knew particular people that were there specifically. So anyway, there are two divisions for like orders of protections. There's a criminal division where you have to go to the courthouse that handles like the criminal division, and there's the domestic division, and you have where they do things that are like domestic and not criminal. We went to the criminal one first. We didn't know because the address is on the back of the police report that you do. So we ended up having to go to the domestic one. Now, luckily I had time. I was off work. Love my job. But so we went up there. I can't tell you how many hours I was up there. Nope, my phone died. It could have been anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. There were lines of people up there, and then you had to get space to write. So with the orders of protection, there are like 3 different forms. There is a domestic order, which it's like a packet. It's thick, like it's a thick packet, and it's a lot of writing. And then there's like a civil no contact order. It's like way shorter. And then there's one other form. I don't know because I didn't have to do that. I'm not quite sure what that one was. So I received 3 for the orders of protection, and I got 1 civil because like they'll ask you like, how are these people related to you, or are they related to you? One person, I didn't think they were related to me because they're not related to me because they're not. At least I didn't think they were. But so my brother and my sister helped me like fill out the general information, like address and things like that. And then I had to go back in and fill out like the specific details of everything. Now, no, I did have access to the videos because, I mean, they asked you about cars and all that other stuff. So I went back and looked at the videos to get that information to put in the order. The packets are thick. If you ever have to go and get an order of protection, I know some people say that you like just move because it's just a piece of paper. That's not realistic in a lot of people's situations. Unless like you're in imminent danger, you need to go, like get out, leave. I mean, I'm dealing with unhinged people. So I mean, you don't know what they will do, but moving at this moment wasn't an option because I can't just up in my daughters. They just lost their dad. And if you know that keeping structure and routine for kids after a tragedy, it helps with processing like trauma, tragedies, and things like that. All right, that's besides the point. But anyway, so we're out there, like I'm out there filling out the details. So that just to say that to have like dates, times, and specifics as to what happened, it's important. Write it down. Don't let things go on too long. But this was the thing. So okay, so after I filled out the paperwork, I had to go back and talk to a judge. Because this is where they'll grant like emergency orders of protection if it's like imminent. So what they did, I believe she granted, and again, this happened a little while ago. I'm pretty sure she granted 2 emergency orders of protection. One was denied, and the other one she kind of questioned just because of the individual who it was. She wanted to hear more of it. I didn't realize that because I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't talking to anybody, so it didn't even matter to me. But I had assumed that the emergency order applied to them as well, which is also a reason why I didn't talk to them. But the one person, so I had to go back and fill out a regular, like the domestic order protection, because how that individual was related to my husband, our association was through my husband, so she was considered related to me. So I had to go back and fill out the domestic order protection, before I met the judge or whatnot. So, okay. Anyway, when I went back to meet the judge, that one wasn't granted because when harassment occurs, even stalking and things like that, it has to happen more than once. And at that point, all I had was proof that it happened that one time. So she couldn't grant that one. That's okay. So right now I have 2 emergency orders of protection, or sorry, I had 2 emergency orders of protection. And then I had a hearing date for the other incidences. Okay. We're going to go to next month, February. So in February, I get a text from my neighbor. Hey, is everything okay over there? Like, yeah, everything's cool. I mean, everything's pretty much died down. Like, no, I'm at work. She's like, yeah, because there was a sheriff at your house. And I'm like, what? A sheriff? I'm like, nothing's going on. Like, I haven't heard anything from anybody or anything, and nobody's been here. I was like, okay, well, I'll go check it out. I'll go see. So I do. I pull up my Ring camera, and of course, the sheriffs had shown up at my house. Didn't leave nothing, run the doorbell, stood around for a while, then left. Thought that was kind of strange. I have no idea why. I really don't. I don't even know how I knew how to do this. But you know, you get that feeling. I went on the online case search at Illinois courts. You can look up cases against you. I put my name in, and there pops up. My husband's mother was suing me for $10,000. Note, I hadn't spoken to this lady since mid-December. She called the cops on me January 3rd to get my husband's items from my house that we shared. That was our marital home. I'm confused, stressing again, worried again. Here come these emotions up again. Like, they haven't gone away yet because of all the stuff that has already been happening. So, I went down. This was about, I don't know if it was the same. I think it was the same week because I found out I was still at work during that time when a neighbor had texted me. I think a week or two after, I think it was a week after or something, I was on vacation from work. So I went down to the courthouse. And they have a free legal service. They did. I don't know if they still do. Where you can go down and ask questions to attorneys and things like that. So I went down to ask them about, like, hey, somebody has filed a small claims case against me. I don't have it yet. They're trying to serve me. Is there any way I can, figure out what I need to do? So they heard that I didn't have it. So they got me a copy of the lawsuit. So I took it, I go home. So I haven't been served yet. There is no notice that I have any recollection of this lawsuit. So of course I am messaging like attorneys. There's a free legal website where you can go and you can ask attorneys questions, lawyers, paralegals, whatever. So I have been asking like what to do in the small claims case. One opinion I had was to just, if you haven't been served, just ignore it. They can't do nothing if you're not served because you have to have the right to show up in court. And if they don't serve you, nothing can happen. Okay. And then the other one was like, well, if you want to argue your case, then you need to answer it. You need to file an appearance and then you need to answer it. And especially if you believe that they have no claim, then you can like file for a dismissal after that. It's like, okay. Of course, I didn't want to leave it to chance because I'm like, there's no way these people aren't getting anything else from me. Nothing. Like, I'm not doing this. So I go reading her case. So she was trying to, she didn't actually put this in her lawsuit. She was trying to sue me for intentional infliction of emotional distress. I'll probably talk more about that throughout the video because you guys might get tired of looking at me. But I went through and I looked up information on intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, again, I haven't spoken to this individual, this lady, since mid-December. She showed up at my house with the cops in January. Hasn't been any contact with me, and now all of a sudden she's suing me for intentional infliction of emotional distress. What? So I go and I file my appearance and I file my response. Okay. This is where I have to get all these dates together. So we're in February right now. So February 15th, so the order of protection cases are still going because the individual, they have to be served still. So I had showing up at February 15th, you know, seeing if they're going to pop on. They didn't pop on. So these court dates are for them. It shows that, hey, you've been served, like you need to show up to court. Then show up February 15th. Found out about the lawsuit in February. Filed my response and appearance in February. All right, so then we're going to hop to March. I believe it was before. They showed up, and I say they because it was my husband's mother and the individual that was living in my household showed up on Zoom for the appearance for the order of protection to acknowledge that they received the order of protection cases. They showed up together. I can say that the judge was annoyed and had to keep telling each one of them, like, you can't talk to each other. Like, you can't tell this person what to say. You can't do that. They're separate cases. Okay, whatever. But anyway, so I think this time the judge ended up setting up a hearing. I can't tell you what date it was right now. I'll do that later. But this was like mid-March. I had the hearing for, this date I also found out that there was a probate case that was open. Never got served with that, never had any information about that, did not know until this individual told me. So, and I found out what the date of the probate, the opening of probate or whatever it was in April. So, oh wait, so this was mid-March. Okay, now, okay, you guys gotta wait. I'm gonna put the videos on now of the stuff that happened. I might be smiling, like I might be smiling now, but trust me, when I was going through that, I was in distress. Like I can't even tell you how I felt going through. Like I wasn't sleeping. From the time that my husband had passed till this moment, I probably lost about 15, 20 pounds. I'm already a little person. I mean, I'm not a little person. You get what I'm saying. Like I'm thin already. But okay, I'm gonna go to these videos because this is getting rather long. I'm gonna go show you these videos and I'm going to continue to tell the story. So check out the video. All right, before I get too much into this, let me make a correction to my previous video. I filed my appearance and my answer on March 12th. On March 13th, the person that was living at my house and my husband's mother showed up on Zoom for the order of protection case and were told to stay away. Do not contact me. Do not interact with me. Stay away from my house. Do not come down my block. Leading this is my husband's mother. This is March 16th. On my block, in my neighborhood, blaring music. I got a call from my neighbor. Hey, there are people in front of your house marching around, shouting justice for Michael. Do you know what's going on? Had no clue. Remember, I have emergency order protection against this individual. Haven't had any contact with her. Don't know nothing about what's going on. She was ordered to stay away from me and my house. She is on my block. Brought cousins, probably some friends, herself, and the baby mama. all these people, they don't like me. They have complete disdain for me. And the thing is that when my late husband was here, none of this happened. None of this was going on. And again, that's why I say that my husband protected me from a lot of stuff, but I also know there were some other things going on. There's a lot that I found out, well, from my mother later down the line about what this is through research, but we're going to get to that in a different video because this video is already long enough. And again, like I said, I have had no contact with this lady. I am not talking to her, have no idea about things that's going on. Why are you showing up at my house? My husband was not killed on my block. He was not shot on my block. He was shot on a block where his guys were. About a 10-15 minute drive from this neighborhood. Now, in here, there's cousins, and like that music was so loud. So, of course, you know what I did? I called the police. And again, it takes the police about 30 minutes to get here. Now, I'll probably let this video run. I might speed it up. Depends. We'll see. But when I called the cops, they had to transfer me to Chicago because I wasn't in the city. And I told them, and they said, okay. By the time that the cops arrived there, they were gone. Because, again, it takes about 30 minutes for the cops to get to where they need to go. And I would put the volume on here, but I don't want whoever was singing this song, the music that they were playing, to be linked to them and their behavior. Because, again, this is harassment. You weren't supposed to be by me, by my household, no interactions whatsoever. You do not like me. Why are you in my neighborhood on my block? This is them hanging up reward posters on the poles. And the thing is, they only hung them up right around my house. I don't think I mentioned in the other video, but my husband's mother actually wrote my address on the back of the flyer with her phone number. And now look, we got some people out here that think people have money, think money stored some places. You or I had no clue what somebody could have did with, oh, there's a reward for this much money. This is the address. Oh, we're going over here. That just tells you how illogical and nonsensical these individuals are. None of them like me. You guys are taking out your anger toward me. And then to hear the excuses as to the reason that you were on my block, which I'm going to share later because, again, I'll get into what this was supposedly all about. And I kind of feel bad for the people who set this up because I don't think they knew that I had an emergency order of protection against my husband's mother, because I think if they would have known, that they wouldn't have came to my block. And again, you don't even know if I'm home or not. Don't know if my daughters are home. And my thing was, I need to protect my daughter, especially from them, because you don't know how they're acting, how they're going to respond. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Now, I guess this is them. They were all like setting up everything. Oh, okay. So let me share. Oh, that's right. So let me tell you, for intentional infliction of emotional distress, it's a tort claim, right? So this is what I'm going to tell you what intentional infliction of emotional distress is. And the thing that I found out is that you have to prove that every single element existed in order to win a tort case for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Outrageous conduct. Actions must be atrocious, intolerable, and beyond civilized standards. She was disrespectful toward me, wasn't respecting my boundaries, wasn't giving me any grace, no room. I stopped talking to her. Is that outrageous? No. Intent or recklessness. The defendant acted with intent to cause or in deliberate disregard of the probability of causing emotional distress. I stopped talking to you. Does me not talking to you cause emotional distress? It shouldn't. But that wasn't her only problem. Her other problem was I wouldn't give her what she wanted. Does that cause emotional distress? I don't think so. Severe emotional distress. The victim suffered severe, often medically diagnosable emotional distress, i.e. PTSD, depression, intense anxiety. Again, I stopped talking to her. I did nothing to her. When you ask people for room to breathe, room to process, room to think, that's setting a boundary. If me setting boundaries causes you emotional distress, then that's something that you need to go deal with, not me. And then the last one is causation. The defendant's conduct directly caused the distress. Again, me not talking to you cause you emotional distress? I didn't do anything to you. So, okay, these are people that are involved in this, I'm going to call it a protest and harassment. Now, some of these people are cousins and some of these people are people I don't know. They're aunts in here. The person that you see in that bright colored, bluish, greenish sign, she's one of my late husband's cousins whom I thought was pretty cool with me, but went on to jump on the bandwagon of, well, what do you know? And as you can see, like, they're trying not to be on my property. And this is them up over where they hung the flyer at. And like I said, this is harassment. Like, they're trying to do things like to intimidate me. Because, like, why are you stopping in front of my house and showing a sign to my camera? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So, like I said, there is a whole lot more that I have to add to this story because there is a little bit more background. I'm not sure if I want to share that in this video or not. I'm going to share a tad bit, and I'll give more of the background to that in another video because this video is about to be ridiculously long if I continue to show all of this because, like I said, they're snippets of the video and they were there for 30 minutes, but it's only snippets of the video or whatnot. My husband's mother accused me of having something to do with my husband getting shot. She stated that I knew information that I should not have known. And that I said some stuff that I shouldn't have said. And then I tried to take it back. And again, I'm going to share that in the next video because I'm not talking about all that right now. And I have to add, on March 1st, one of those obnoxious talk shows called me on her behalf, wanting me to come on the show to address her accusations. We're going to focus on them and how they acting toward me and what they've been doing. Now, all of these people, they have threatened me. They have been aggressive toward me. They have been antagonistic toward me. Like, literally, this is March of 2024. My husband was killed in November 2023. He was buried in December of 2023. January of 2024, they showed up at my house claiming, okay, wait. I'm going to say they showed up at my house with the cops in an attempt to ambush my house to try and get all of my husband's belongings with the cops' help. Because again, that's what she had stated in the phone call to 911, that she wanted to know when she could get my husband's items. She was there because she wanted my husband's items, not because they were helping the person that was at my house move. And that comes up later too. Like I tell you guys, it's a bunch of crazy, contradictory, ridiculous, most outrageous stuff that you can hear that happened. And what's crazy is they're over here taking pictures basically in front of my neighbor's house. It's kind of, well, it's somewhat in between my house and my neighbor's house, but more toward my neighbor's house, because again, this lady knew that she wasn't supposed to be by my property. She wasn't supposed to be near me, but yet she brings a whole bunch of people and an activist with her on my block, and she wasn't supposed to. And I guarantee you, she told nobody that that there was an emergency order of protection out against her from me, and that she wasn't supposed to be on the block. And that's why I'm saying I feel bad for the activists, because you were kind of part of the harassment against me. So this is one thing I also did. I went down and I got another police report, and I filed a police report about a violation of an order of protection against her. Now look, this is not the only time that she showed up to my house in March. There's another time that she shows up to my house after March. And like I said, I think I'm going to share more of that in the other video, because there's a little bit more to that story, and so I can tell some more about what happened in this case, so this video is not crazy long, because like I said, it's already about to be crazy long, and I just might speed it up at the end to make it a little bit shorter. But again, they're all gathered over there taking pictures and posing, claiming that this was justice. Like, how are you getting justice for my husband when you were marching around the block that he lived on? Oh, but see, that's where 2 and 2 go together. 2 and 2, 1 on 1 and 1, whatever you want to call it. She's over here, justice for Michael, because like I said, she thinks, and now there's this whole rumor going around the family that started in December. Like I said, there's a whole lot more to the story, that I had something to do with my husband getting killed, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. And that's the only reason why it would make sense why they're on my block shouting for justice for Michael, because the justice needs to be sought in the neighborhood that he was shot in, not in my neighborhood. My neighborhood's a peaceful neighborhood. Nothing really goes on in my neighborhood. My neighborhood is a neighborhood where people live for years, and they have grown up in, their parents have grown up in, and they come back to, and you go there, and I mean, people are older in this neighborhood. And these are things, and it's going to come up a little later. Again, we weren't talking. Nothing I was invited to. Nothing I was told about. And you guys have, or sorry, they have shown enough that they have a problem with me. The funny thing, I guess it's not too funny, but the thing about this is my husband's mother is the ringleader. They all follow along with her lead, even when she's wrong. They have her back. That's what I think is a big problem with some of our people, my black people, in some parts of this city, and we're going to talk about Chicago because I've been in Chicago, is that they allow people who are wrong to lead and they just follow along because that's their family. Oh, they have to have their families back. No, you need to tell your family that they're wrong and that they need to stop. But they're all followers. And now I'm not gonna blame the people there that didn't know. I mean, what they say, ignorance is bliss. Is that what they say? I mean, I don't really want to call the people that didn't know ignorant either, because again, they are following this grieving mother. And to say that, oh yeah, I want to go buy his house and protest, I don't know what kind of sense that makes to anybody, because I'm like, did the people that agreed to it, did they ask, well, who's at the house? Because that's upsetting. And it's disruptive. Thankfully, my daughters were not there, and my daughters did not have to witness this. So I didn't have to explain more to them. Like, my daughters they're young. And nobody in that family had called to check in on my daughters to see how they were doing. And of course, this is before the orders of protection happened, because there's no way we're gonna be in contact after all that mess that happened. So, and I think you're gonna see, so no cops have shown up. They're still on the opposite side of the street. And what's kind of funny about this too, they knew that there were cameras in front of my house. And the fact that they thought, and I'm pretty sure they continue to think, that what they did was okay. So there you see them leaving. So it's been about 30 minutes that they have been here. But like I said, I'm going to share in my other videos, because they came by my house another time, and I'm going to share a more detail about things that happened and other things that happened right after that led to some other things with dealing with the court cases, which are probate, the orders of protection, and the small claims cases, because I got some more to share about that too. But that's the end of this video. Meaning, as quick as they came, they left. And like I said, I don't even know if the cops showed up. I don't think the cops ever came. At least not here. You know what? Yes, they did. I think the cops had met them up somewhere else. Maybe. But I'm not sure. So I will most likely come back in March to share some more detail into this story and share about probate, but I'll probably come back sooner to share what probate is and the process and some things that I have learned about probate. Make sure to come back and tune in to hear more about the outlandish experiences that I have had after my husband was killed. And if you haven't seen my shorts, my husband was shot in the 7900 block of South Oglesby on November 21st, 2023. If you know something, heard something, seen something, it's never too late to speak up and speak out. I know it's going on 3 years, but we're the only ones who can stop this violence in our community. It's never too late to speak up. It's never too late to say something.